Hi, we are in my shop right now, and I'm going to be starting a project that I'll be documenting on this channel. And it's going to be a little bit different than the theme of the previous videos. It's going to be a woodworking project, and I want to preface this with the fact that I am not a woodworker. I am not an expert in this. I claim no prior knowledge. The only training in woodworking that I have, if you want to call it that, is middle school woodshop. So if that counts as any sort of training, I did get an A in the class, so there's that. But that's the only training I have. I'm not an expert. Sort of just figure it out as I go along. I did draw up a plan, which I'll stick in here at some point when I'm talking about what I'm actually making. But I just want to preface this with I am not an expert in woodworking. I've been doing woodworking stuff, effectively my whole life. And so anyway, just not an expert. Just getting that out of the way. Constructive criticism is certainly welcome, but otherwise, whatever. So I'm going to be making a bed frame for my wife and I. We have a king size mattress, and it's currently on one of those frames that you get, I think, probably for free when you buy a new mattress. And it's just, that metal frame. It's cheap, it's not very robust, and there's a few problems with it. One is it's not high enough. I'm 5'11", my wife is 6'1". We like the bed to be high, probably roughly about waist height on me. That's probably about 3 feet or so on me. I'm roughly 5'11", so probably about 3 feet on me, or waist height on me, roughly 3 feet or so. Which may seem high, but that's what we like. Now, when we got this mattress and this frame, I did get some 2x6s and stuck them together, and just sort of as quick and dirty way, I stuck the actual frame on those 2x6s, just one for each leg of the mattress and in the center of the mattress, or in the center of the frame. And that works, but it's got some problems. One, it's obviously not very elegant. We have had a couple times when, because it shifts around and it's not really attached to anything, it has come off the blocks to one degree or another, and it's not very elegant. The other thing is on the height anyway, is I want to make it high enough so that we can actually put some storage under it. It's high right now, but I'm actually going to make it higher than what it is now, and the frame is going to be such that I can eliminate the box spring, so we won't need that anymore. So I'll be actually making the gap between the floor and the frame bigger so that we can put either baskets, or maybe I'm going to make some boxes. I'm not really quite sure yet, but there'll be a platform for either a basket or a box or something to sit. Not going to mess around with drawers on that. Simple, keeping it simple. And the other reason for the frame is we have this headboard, and we got it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. A furniture store, local furniture store, was having clearance. They were getting rid of a bunch of stuff that they had, that they weren't selling or in stock or whatever the case may be. And so we got this for free, and since then it's been sitting at the head of our bed on the floor, and not mounted on anything. It's got some mounting points on it, but they don't match up to the frame, and even if they did, the frame wouldn't be able to hold it. So that's the other thing, is I want to properly mount this to the bed frame so that it's properly mounted. Imagine that. So yeah, and then like I said, there will be an electronics component to this later on that I'll talk about in another video. This will probably be multi-parts, 4 depending. I'll have to see how it goes. In this initial video, I'm just going to do some rough construction, maybe talk a little bit about how I'm constructing it, and why I think I should do it that way. Again, not a woodworker, not an expert. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video and the future ones for this project. This will be sort of the theme of this channel, where it'll basically just, I enjoy multiple things, electronics and woodworking and just making things in general. So as I'm doing a project or whatever, and if I think it's halfway interesting enough to make a video on, then I will do that. So hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully you glean something from it. Hopefully I glean something from it. Hopefully it works and it's successful. And it looks like not something a 3-year-old put together, which is a distinct possibility, because I remind you that the only formal woodworking training that I have is middle school wood shop. So anyway, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way and at least get some basic steps completed for this video. Thanks for watching. Let's go. This is all lumber from the local Home Depot, and these are 2x6s, 2x4s. And when I got this was very wet still. So it's been sitting here for probably 2 or 3 weeks in the shop. We've had a combination of wet and dry, but we've had a few hot days, and right now it's dry. Feels very dry. Now may not be the best way to tell if it's dry enough to work with, but it feels dry to me. What I actually did was I took my my fan, put the boards, I even the one on the floor, I put spacers between them, just some scrap pieces of wood, and I put the fan in front of here, and I just had air blowing on it to help just, have air blowing over it. Whether or not that's the best way of doing it or the proper way, I'm not sure, but it seemed to work just fine, and these seem dry enough to work with. How I'll be attaching the corners, both the corner for the foot of the bed, and also the where the head of the bed is, I'll be using dowels. This is a built-in suspenders approach as far as I'm concerned. So I'll be doing it like that. This would be like if for the headpiece, these notches, you'll see why those were in this test piece as well. So that'll fit together like that. So this is built-in suspenders. If this was the corner of the bed, the 4x4 leg would sit right here, and then I'm going to have bolts. That's not really where the bolt would be. Obviously, it'd be over here and here, as you can see in the plans, but then the 4x4 would sit here, and they're going to be bolted in. Again, built-in suspenders. We want it to be sturdy. So what I did right there was I measured the length of the headboard that where the mounting points are, and I measured the board, but I left a little bit, measured a little bit proud of the actual measurement that I needed, so that I could cut both. So then I cut it one end and then I cut the other, because I think you just end up with a little bit cleaner and probably more square cut on each end than you otherwise would by leaving the factory. And I mean, it only sacrifices a little bit, but you can probably use that for something else. So there's that. So I can keep track. So I can keep track of what piece this is. And we'll make this the part that's going to be on the inside, and this the part that's on. Okay, so I did some measuring on the mattress, and plans, I'm actually going to make this a little bit longer, roughly an inch longer than what I have on the original plans. Your average king size mattress is like 80 inches. So in order to make sure that our mattress fits, and also to make sure that if we get a future mattress that it fits, then I'm going to make this 80. Go ahead and make this 80 inches, and I'm going to subtract 3 inches from that, from the length of the side rails, because of the head and the foot. So then that way, between the head and the foot, it'll be 80 inches. So the mattress will fit on that. So these will actually be cut at 77 inches long. So anyway, so we may not get the mattress butting up against the edge, the foot of the bed as we want, but at least I'll know that this mattress will fit, and any future mattresses will fit as well. So. I'm going to use this. I'm not going to measure the same the length. I'm actually just going to use the board for one side to get the length that I need for the other side, so that they're both as close to being exactly the same length as possible. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to figure out, so the headboard piece is actually wider than the actual bed or the mattress is going to be. So I need to figure out where the side rails are going to sit on this, so that way I can take the doweling jig and drill the dowel holes for it. I'm using this doweling jig by Jessam. Not a sponsor or anything. I think I have like 10 subscribers right now, so yeah, no one's paying me to use this. I bought this, tested it out. So far in the test, it worked pretty well. So anyway, again, this is belt and suspenders. I could probably have used some sort of corner bracket or something like that, but I like the idea of doweling it, and so we'll see how that works. So now I need to figure out where the measurements go. And I apologize, our dachshund, Lola, she likes to bark. And that's what she's doing right now. There's nothing to bark at. She's literally barking at the wind. So if you're hearing barking, that's what that is. What I did here was I found the center of both boards lay them on top of each other, lined up the lines, and then marked where these are just scrap pieces of board, and then I marked where the outer edge of the board would sit, and I lined up the actual cut foot piece, and it lines up. So I know that I want to place my dowels right in here, and then the side rails will fit right there. I've got that laid out. I feel like this is probably a good place to stop. It's getting a little late. I'm hungry. I want to go get something to eat. So this may be a standalone video. This may be part one of part whatever. If it is, be sure and subscribe so you can catch the rest of me building this bed frame. And if not, if this isn't part one of anything, then you won't see this part. And so this will be irrelevant, and I would just be talking for no reason. Anyway, again, building a bed frame. This is just the initial stages. I know this wasn't that exciting of a video initially, but please stay tuned for the rest of it. I'll be doing the dowel holes next, and getting the initial outer frame put on. And then I think after I get that initial frame laid out, I'm probably going to do the routering for the channel that I need in the bottom of the bed for something that I will not quite mention. Stay tuned, subscribe, thumbs up if you like this video, and I will see you next time. But I am not an expert. I have no clue what I'm doing.